The Champions League tournament is about a month away. Yes, I know, it's older news now, but the new Champions League format, I like it. And I thought it may warrant a quick explainer for any of you who haven't paid attention or simply want some finer detail here, want the nitty gritty. By the way, I'm Adrian and welcome to Rabona TV. A big welcome to anyone who has recently joined our community. This is a personal hello from me to you. And if you're not subscribed yet, all you have to do is watch the entirety of this video and write up a modest 1,500-word essay on how the content made you feel and thus whether you think you will subscribe or not. That's all it takes. It's very easy. All right, let's talk European competitions, Champions League, and Europa League. 2 weeks ago, UEFA released a press statement detailing how they envision the rest of the 2019-20 Champions League and Europa League will play out. So first off, there's the question of venues. Now, for the remaining round of 16 matches in the Champions League, those being Juventus hosting Lyon, with Lyon in the lead there, 1-0. Man City hosting Real Madrid after they won 2-1 at the Bernabeu. Bayern hosting Chelsea, they won 3-0 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, effectively game-ending them. And Barcelona hosting Napoli after getting a 1-1 draw at the San Paulo. The only thing that still needs deciding in regards to those fixtures is whether the teams that were due to play at home will be able to play in their own stadiums, or whether they will be played at a neutral venue within the nation that UEFA has chosen to play host to the Champions League tournament, which is Portugal. The remaining round of 16 matches could be played in Turin, Manchester, Munich, and Barcelona, or they could be played in Porto or Guimarães if need be. I will feel bad if those teams don't get the opportunity to play at home, and I would be mad if I was a fan of one of those teams. That would be justified anger, I think. But unfortunately, this is an unprecedented time, and unprecedented measures will have to be enacted. But still, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, as currently, all of those teams have played home games in their respective leagues since the resumption of football, so the prospects do look good there. For the Europa League, they have a similar situation, as all of the second leg matches need to be played, with two main differences here. Germany has been chosen as the host country for this Europa League tournament of 2020, so the remaining second leg matches will be played in any of Duisburg, Cologne, Dusseldorf, or Gelsenkirchen. But there's an added difference here in that the first leg matches between Inter and Getafe and Roma versus Sevilla were never even played. So, given that they never went ahead between those teams, there's no threat of it being unfair for any of the teams involved to not get a chance at playing at home. So, what will they do instead? So in the Europa League and Champions League, while the second leg matches will be played at neutral venues in Germany and Portugal respectively, Inter versus Getafe and Roma versus Sevilla will also be played at neutral venues, though they will be single match elimination. Yes sir, an international tournament vibe is being brought back to the European competitions. As from the quarterfinals on, all matches will be single match elimination. No return legs means no away goals rule, which I personally love to see, though I hope it doesn't lead to teams playing for the penalties. Surely not. This is exciting, in my opinion. This is preferred, as it means that the stakes are even higher in every match. Of course, every match counts once you get to this stage of the European competitions, whether it's one-legged or two-legged, there's no doubt about that, but there's no more do-overs. However, that said, I guess you could also argue that we'll be robbed of some of the potential for things such as, Barcelona, Liverpool, and AS Roma's remontadas that we have been able to enjoy over the last few seasons. We'll be robbed of seeing teams turn things around like that, but they will have to be at their best in every single match, as anything can happen in a one-off match. So this August will be brilliant for what will hopefully be quality football. The likes of Bayern and the French teams will not have played for quite some time, namely the French teams, as they of course never returned to action. So the Champions League dates are as follows. The remaining round of 16 matches will be played on August 7th and 8th. Then just under a week later, the quarterfinals will begin on August 12th until the 15th. All of those matches will be played in Lisbon, either at the Estadio da Luz or Sporting's Estadio José Alvalade. The semifinals will also be in Lisbon. Those will be played on August 18th and 19th, and the final will be at the Estadio da Luz on August 23rd. The last time there was a Champions League final at the Estadio da Luz, Real Madrid won La Decima. As for the Europa League, that gets started a couple days earlier, which is nice, so you won't have to pick and choose between watching the two competitions. Round of 16 matches will be wrapped up on August 5th and 6th. The quarterfinals will be held on the 10th and 11th, really packing them in there. The semifinals will be from August 16th to 17th, and the Europa League final will be held on August 21st in Cologne, in Köln Stadium. Oh, and here's the convenient visualization of the club football you'll get to take in during August. Football almost every day. If all goes well and that dreaded second wave of COVID doesn't wash over Europe, the next season's Champions League and Europa League competitions will be relatively unaffected. They'll just start later in the year. But also, the 2020 Champions League final was to be held at the Ataturk Stadium in Turkey, but given that UEFA found Portugal and Germany to be much safer, Ataturk will now host the 2021 final, just as the 2021 Europa League final will be held in Gdansk, where it was supposed to be played this year. Everything just got kicked down the line for a year. Now, UEFA has set a deadline of August 3rd for leagues to submit which teams will be competing in next year's competitions, whether that be directly qualified or taking part in the qualifiers. Qualifiers for the Champions League will begin on August 8th with the preliminaries and will continue through the various rounds until the playoffs begin on September 22nd. The group stage for next season's competition will begin on October 20th and will be wrapped up by December 9th. For the Europa League, the dates are nearly the same, but a bit later, as the qualifying and playoffs will be wrapped up by early October. The playoffs actually begin on October 1st, as of now, and the group stage will begin on October 22nd and wrapped up by December 10th. So everything will just start a bit later in order to accommodate leagues more, but players will certainly be worried about injuries, as there will be quite the congestion of matches thanks to the pandemic. Add to that the current plan to have Euro 2020 next summer, and yikes. That's a lot of football. Anyways, that should be just about all you need to know regarding this year's tournaments in Portugal and Germany, as well as when you can expect your team to take part in some qualifying. If you found this video helpful, then a like goes a long way to help the channel, and a subscription, you'll make my weekend and help make the weekend recap all the better. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. My name is Adrian, this is Plantini, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.